What? All right. So welcome to this first impression. For some reason, the sound effect icons have been switched around, so I don't know
Gave us
what's
the
gonna play what.
Luis the start.
I
No, you hit
know.
us with the Luis.
Yeah, they switched the icons on me. I don't know what's going on, but greetings everyone. With me, I have Joe Hova
Yo, what up?
and AJ.
How you doing?
I am your host, CSJR, aka Profex. We are doing a first impression for Adam Reverie's The Westside Rev project. I don't know so much about the artist. Joe, could you give us a little bit of info?
Yeah, I actually interviewed him. I did a Hoves Lane episode with him. You can check that out, joehovesmf.com in the Hoves Lane section. We talked for, we talked for an hour. Like, there's only 20 minutes of the interview, but we talked for a solid 20 before and a 20 after. He's a really good dude. He's from Detroit, Michigan, up in that area. Not like from Detroit, but like up in that area, the metro area. And he used to be an R&B singer. And he's only
What?
yeah, he used to be an R&B singer. I was shocked when he told me that on the phone. And he's only been rapping and doing like the whole rap thing for about 4 years now. And he has a few projects under his belt. And this was his latest one. He kind of retired last year. He like took a break, I guess. And he said that he was done making music, and then like he saw like the outpour of like people, saying, we're gonna miss you, da 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 da, whatever. And so he decided to come back this year, and he has two projects. He dropped this one early May, and then he's gonna drop another one later in the year.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you off jump from what I heard, it didn't sound like a person that's only been rapping for 4 years for sure. Yeah, but let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll say my piece first. The very first track, he sounded. It got progressively intense on that first track.
Mm-hmm.
Like where towards the end, like dude seemed legit angry, and it was really intense, which is even more mind blowing knowing that he didn't start off as a rapper. He kind of transitioned into that and was on the verge of not doing music anymore, which is also nuts because this is a really solid project. But AJ, how was your first impression?
I agree. It was a really solid project. Listening to it and some of the songs that were I always like hearing people that try to represent for their area and stuff like that. And he had this one line where like this little, it was kind of like some fanboy was in his ear or something like that. He was like, "Nigga, even Detroit didn't support Eminem," and I was like, "You ain't lying." So I like that because that it was a solid project.
Word. And you gave it a 4.5 on your review on your site.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5. I reviewed it. I had it for about a week, so I've had it for about a month now. But I still go back to it, and it's just an incredible project. Like just overall, it's one of the better projects I've heard from anybody this year. And it's like he doesn't hold any punches lyrically. His flow, he's able to like slow it down, speed it up, do whatever he wants with it. It's just it, it's it's one of those things you have to hear it. Like you have to
Yeah.
hear it in order to understand what we're talking about.
Yep, that's true. And another thing, we've discussed this before on the length of projects, and this one hits another sweet spot where it's not overly long at all. It's only 9 tracks.
Nine
And
tracks, no features. It's just him.
there's no filler, there's no BS whatsoever. Like and there's no like there was no glaring weak point for me as I listened. I don't know if y'all felt the same way, but there wasn't a glaring weak point throughout the whole thing. And I knew coming into this conversation I would have to have something where I'd be like, what was the track that I enjoyed the least? And I had to kind of nitpick to even have one, and it was that song Like He Can't. And the only reason I had an issue is because of some of the singing part. Otherwise, it's still a dope track.
And see, I had an issue with that song, and it's not the song. It's just the sequencing of it because he goes from talking about like God and Jehovah and all that stuff on So Blasphemous, and then talking about fucking you like this other dude on the very next song, and I'm just like,
Yeah, that's one of the problems I had too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
That's
subject matter got kind of twisted in the song. I just don't. I don't know. When you do stuff like that, and yeah, you can be all, you mention God and things like that and make it one of those kinds of tracks, but then you're right, he was talking about fucking and
the
stuff
very
like that.
next
And I
one,
was
yeah,
like,
like it was
that
just the
didn't settle.
sequencing. Yeah, the sequencing was just off a little bit.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that. So what were some favorite? Well, actually, on the negative side, what was that y'all's only week mark that y'all had the same one?
Nope. That last song was my least favorite song too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy because that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
I didn't like that because
Oh,
like you know me, I don't really care for slow songs like at all. So that it was, don't get me wrong, it was a good closing song. It closed out the project really solidly, but I didn't like that shit.
word, Joe.
Yeah, it was just the sequencing issue that I had with it. Other than that, I mean, I liked all the songs. It was just that little sequencing issue that was with it, and that's the only reason I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Because if it wasn't for that, it was a perfect project.
Big statement, man. And really, other than that sequencing and that little part that I didn't like, I can't even really argue with that. So 4.5 sounds more than a solid score. So what were some favorite tracks for y'all?
For me, Detroit Muscle was really good. I got my review pulled up, so let me read it. Westside Rev, Detroit Muscle, Like He Can't, and then You Remind Me. Those were my favorites from it.
Gotcha, AJ.
I'm gonna say the same, but I'm also gonna add pros and cons.
Okay, I like pros and cons as well. My favorites are actually West Side Rev, the opening track, pros and cons, and You Remind Me, the last track.
Because that opening track, like it had that line on it, and I don't know, man, that was just a good ass. It wasn't a good ass intro, but it was a good ass intro.
Word.
Yeah.
It was like as far because like for me and you, this was our introduction to the artist, and like for that track to be the opening shot, like right out the gate, that shit went super hard. So ultimately, would everybody recommend this?
Oh hell yeah!
I'm
AJ?
gonna say yes.
I am gonna say yes as well. Did y'all have any final words on it?
As always, swag.
You can check it out. It's on Audio Mac, but if you don't want to search that, joehovasmf.com, and you can search his name, and it's up there.
Word, yeah, definitely hit Joe's site to check for it. We don't have the stream up right now on the Koalition, but we'll probably post that up to go along with this on the first impression. And of course, per usual, hit the donation icon if you'd like to donate. Hit the subscribe on our YouTube channel because we got a lot of videos and everything going up in a very high frequency, higher than it's ever been. So we got some
Shall
dope
we
shit.
say they're going up on a Tuesday? I didn't know that.
Hey, I think
I
he
had
getting
to
a
think
little
about it.
liberal. He getting a little liberal with the womp womp. That didn't deserve.
Hey,
I
I
got
didn't
it.
mean.
I got it.
I got it. I didn't mean to have the womp womp in the early stage of the video. And Joe knew it was gonna happen. He pulled that
Oh
one.
yeah.
He knew it was gonna happen.
Oh,
But
yeah.
hey, thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next time. Peace out.